Incredible ocean, magical place to be. So much that we can learn from life in the deep blue sea. Incredible ocean, magical place to be. So much that we can learn from life in the deep blue sea. Can learn from life in the deep blue sea. So much that we can learn from life in the deep blue sea.
Well, hey! Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
It's Blue Monday. What an amazing day. So the people that don't know, Blue Monday is tentatively referred to as the most depressing day of the year for the Northern Hemisphere anyway, because it's dark. Generally, people are poor, they're a bit partied out, and they're like, oh God, oh, it's nothing fun. So we're here to make it fun and to take that depression and turn it into amazing ocean things. So we're doing an awesome collaboration, with these random people, which we found on YouTube. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, random people.
Hi. And incidentally, this is the first time that all of us have got together at the same time. So this is quite exciting for us. There we go. Isn't technology wonderful? I'm Russell, and I'm from Incredible Oceans, and I'm a big science nerd from Incredible Oceans that tries to take things that other people find interesting and make them ridiculously nerdy. Elizabeth, who are you?
I am Elizabeth, aka Marine Mumbles. So I am a PhD student, and I study things like biofouling, which are all the lovely creatures you find in rock pools that grow on man-made things. And speaking of rock pools, I have this YouTube channel and a website called Marine Mumbles, where I am absolutely obsessed with rock pooling, and I share the wonderful, amazing things that you can find in the ocean right at your doorstep with just a pair of wellies. So that's what I get up to.
And we're going to see video from all of us in a minute, which is pretty cool. So let's go, John. Tell us about you.
Hi, hello, the live internet. How are you, live internet? I'm John, and I work for Ensonglopedia, and I turn science into songs. I believe that science is real, and all kinds of science, I transform it into song, make it rhyme, and make it hopefully easy to understand. And it's not all about the ocean, but today I will be doing some songs and talking about some things to do with the ocean.
Amazing. And last but not least, we've got Anthony from the Ocean Show. There, I'm trying to get my pointing. There we go.
I'm Anthony. I am a filmmaker. I specialize in filming in the water. I do a lot of surfing stuff, but at the beginning of lockdown, I started a thing called The Ocean Show. We're 2 episodes in, and it's just all things oceany and all things educational, kind of based with ocean stuff. So yeah, that's me.
Amazing. Right. So that's everyone. So how we're going to do, if you're familiar with BBC Six Music, and when they've got the new singles coming out, and they get everyone together and they play a single, and then everyone comes back into the room and talks about that. So that's the kind of format that we're going to do. So we're going to each take it in turns to do a quick video. John's also going to play something live for us, which is going to be really exciting. So later on in the show, and then if there's any time at the end, we're going to do a little Q&A section. So if you've got any questions for any of us, stick them in the comment section, and we can pop them up on the bottom of the screen, and we can talk through and answer your questions. So we're going to throw John and Anthony out of the studio. And so it's just me and Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, so you were saying you're a PhD student who studies biofouling. That sounds a bit gross. So talk to us about biofouling.
Well, people think it is gross. It's a lot of like gunky, awesome stuff. I don't think it's gross. I think it's fascinating. And basically, all of the things you find in rock pools, the lovely like anemones and seaweeds and these things called sea squirts and all of that, well, they have to settle on something hard to live on, the rocks in rock pools. But when we put lots of man-made stuff in the sea, like concrete, which is what I study, that's another hard surface things to live on. So I just study them deciding to live on man-made things as well. I kind of like to think that I'm making like really niche hotels for certain species, but that's not what I say in my academic presentations, unfortunately.
I feel like you should, like, just, I make bespoke rock pooling hotels. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
exactly
very
that.
hipster. I can see an inroad for that.
I'm
Very
only hipster for the, the barnacle world or something. I'd like to provide them with that unique experience of exactly what they like.
amazing. So I stumbled across your YouTube channel through Twitter, and I was really amazed with it's very rare that you find someone that is in the science world and they do the science really well. And part of it is you go around and you do rock pooling and show off the creatures that you find. But then there's also this amazing art side to what you do.
Yes.
And so I'm interested, like, you've clearly got an art brain and a science brain. I'm interested to hear, can you talk to us a little bit about the science there? Can you talk us through a little bit about like the art that you do and how you came to be doing that? Yeah.
Well, this is all my stuff hanging on the wall as a nice background. And I don't actually think they're that different. I'm going to be very, that's a bit controversial, but science is really creative. You're asking lots of questions and you're asking like exactly what is you're trying to do. And it's kind of the same thing with art, because you're just trying to get, how do I get this thing that's in my brain onto paper? But art is more relaxing, and it's definitely a really great way to like chill out. And I think that also it engages people really well. Like showing them a piece of artwork of a species can sometimes inspire them more than showing them like the actual species, though I find that's really inspiring as well. And I just think using the two together is so exciting, because anything we can do to keep people more engaged. And the other thing as well that I think is not so dissimilar is that you're drawing stuff that's actually really sciencey. If you're noticing that like this species has, this type of shell or something else, then that's science in itself. So actually the art is helping you become a better scientist because you're observing better. But also, it was just something fun to do on the weekend.
Definitely. Well, I get like the old kind of Victorian taxonomists, as well as being like awesome at science and being able to identify different creatures. Part of the recording of those species was doing these really intricate pen and ink etchings, and like Ernest Haeckel and people like that. So it was, I guess, like a tradition to be a scientist. Like you were a Renaissance person and had to have one foot in the arts, one foot in the sciences. And I guess maybe along the way we've lost the art side of things to a certain degree within science.
I mean, that is a shame. I think there's definitely a place that science should be kind of promoting, bringing in artists more, because it's a great way to share and a great way to learn and study and everything. But I think people just seem to think that now it's two separate things, whereas I really don't see them as, you have to be an artist or a scientist. I definitely wouldn't call myself a professional artist, but I don't think that art is outside the realm of my day-to-day job if I was going to do that to help move the project forward, to help inspire and learn and everything. So that's kind of what I'm promoting with this channel as well. And I think it's really useful in the UK if you're good at art to also do this, because I can't get out and rock pool every weekend, unfortunately, because the weather is naff. So that's where the art came in at the start as well, because I just needed some other way to spend my time if I couldn't get outside.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, great stuff. Right. So you've got a little video to show us now that's exactly just shows off what you do. So let's go for it. Let's check it out.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth and I run Marine Mumbles, an ocean-based YouTube channel all about the ocean's weirdest and most wonderful creatures, especially those that you can find with just a pair of wellies when you go rock pooling. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what you can go out and find for yourself whenever it is safe to do so. And if you can't get to the beach at the moment, it's something to look forward to. And I have over 175 videos on my YouTube channel just waiting for you to go and learn about all these species, ready so that you're super prepared to get out there and get searching. So let's dive in with some awesome marine life. So starting off, did you know you can find octopuses in the UK just down your local beach? I searched for octopuses for years. I went to all these different places I thought they would live, and in the end they rocked up right on my local beach where I grew up as a kid. It's just a wonderful, wonderful example of how amazing and surprising the ocean always is. You should never take it for granted, because as soon as you do, it just chucks something else amazing at you. You really can find anything at any point in time. Just so exciting. Now, onto something more common that you will always find at pretty much every beach in the entire world, and they are my personal favourites, barnacles. For adult lives, barnacles need to stick to a surface, and to do this they use a glue. Now, this glue is actually baffling engineers and scientists around the world, because they can't understand, firstly, what the glue is exactly and how they make it underwater. There are parts of the puzzle that people are beginning to put together, but we are nowhere close. This awesome marine thing can produce, just by evolution, something that we can't even begin to understand. And that is pretty blooming incredible for something so common. Next up, Nudibranchs, which are just amazing and awesome in pretty much every way. These are sea slugs, and unlike land slugs, they are pretty, beautiful, really awesome, and just super cool. And they breathe out of fluffy gills on their bums. Now, what's really cool about these is that they eat hydroids, which are basically, if you imagine a jellyfish that looks like a plant, but actually it's an animal. Oh yeah, so by the way, we have these weird things in the ocean called hydroids. If you imagine a jellyfish, but a baby jellyfish turned upside down, it becomes a hydroid, and it's attached to things that look a bit like stalks, but they're not, because even though it looks like a plant, it's actually a living animal. But get it under a microscope and it just looks transparent and looks like it can't even be alive, but it is. Now, these nudibranchs do something really awesome, and they eat hydroids. But what they do is they take the stinging cells that are usually in jellyfish, that are also in hydroids, and they keep them. So they eat all the other stuff and they take and steal these, and they keep them inside their bodies. So that if you eat a nudibranch, not that you should be eating nudibranchs, but fish and other predators could eat nudibranchs, and it will actually sting them, and pretty much they just decide to leave nudibranchs alone, and that is how they adapt to survive, and that is that's pretty awesome. What's also awesome is that hydroids and jellyfish are related to anemones, and all of these are also related to corals. Yep, like, you know, the tropical awesome coral reefs. And did you know you can also get corals in the UK? I don't have a video for that. I have videos of hundreds of different species on my channel, but I'm always searching for more and to find more exciting things. So please go and subscribe and join me on my marine journey, because there are tons of things I still need to see, including corals in the UK and loads of cool stuff. So that is what we're going to be doing on my channel this year. So come join me on an amazing marine adventure.
Well, hey! Ha ha! I love that. That's
good.
That barnacle fact. That barnacle fact.
Yeah, underrated, aren't they? They're just pretty incredible.
Oh,
amazing! I didn't know you could get octopus here.
Yeah. It was one of the best marine encounters of my entire life. I've got a whole video on it. It was just like perfect.
Roughly whereabouts in the UK was that?
That was in Kent, which I didn't expect to find them. I mean, I'm usually based up in Scotland, and these gorgeous rocky shores full of amazing things that they could eat, thinking, you know, one of these days I'm just going to stumble across it. And actually I found it on a sandy shore somewhere I never thought they would be. But that just, you know, goes to show that the ocean is like, oh, I'm not going to do what you think I'm going to do.
That's incredible.
That's really cool. Oh, John's frozen a bit there. Down.
So many wonderful animals. I'm terribly sorry. Can you hear me? I can
We
see
can
my
hear you.
videos.
Go for it.
Yeah.
We can hear you. Okay, fine. Oh my God, nudibranchs are so beautiful. If everyone out there wants a treat, Go to Google image search, Nudibranch. The amount of variety in those species is amazing. There is so much beauty in that family or phylum or whatever it is. Nudibranch's amazing. I happen to have a song about a nudibranch, but I'm not. No, Ellen has asked a question there. Am I doing my nudibranch song? No.
I think my favorite like internet nudibranch thing is someone has taken a lot of time to match together nudibranchs that look like outfits that David Bowie has worn. So if you type in nudibranchs that look like David Bowie, it's like, what? It's amazing. It's absolutely.
It's the content we need for a Blue Monday.
This is what we need. So if you like, it's like the world's two best things coming together. Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you very much. That was so good. Has anyone got any questions for Liz or here? Oh, why are they coral reefs? Oh, well, should we do questions at the end?
Yeah. Answer Gina's question. Where are they?
Yeah. Where are the coral reefs?
There are different types of coral reefs. So there are some deep water coral reefs, which I doubt I'll ever get to see. But I found out this year, and one of the great things about lockdown was I got to listen to like some online lectures I'd never get to go to. And in mainly the west coast, but specifically definitely down in Devon a lot more, there are soft corals, and they look like these gorgeous kind of anemone coral hybrids, but you can just find them rock pooling, and they're a lot rarer than anemones, and they're I don't know if they're protected, but they're definitely one of the rarer species you get in the UK, and I can't wait to try and at some point get down there and try and find some rock pooling. The fact that you can find corals rock pooling, just like I'm so excited.
So I've got a question for everyone. I want to know, like, what's the coolest thing that you found on the beach, either living or not living?
Good question.
I thought that was because I love beach combing and rock pooling, and so I'm like, what's the coolest thing?
Mine's either the octopus, which is pretty cool, but just because I have it to hand right here, I found also a giant shark's tooth, fossilized shark's tooth. So that was pretty cool too.
That's really cool. Where did you find that?
Again, same beach as the octopus. Yeah, so yeah.
Probably for me, probably just seals on the beach, right where we are. That's probably
And whereabouts are you?
Southeast Cornwall.
Right, cool. So yeah, really good coast down there.
Yeah, beautiful.
And John, you're in Brighton. What's the coolest thing?
I am in Brighton. Well, I'm just outside Brighton in Lewes, so we don't have much beach life in Lewes, but Brighton Beach is pretty special. I'm told there are dolphins to be spotted there. I haven't seen one myself, unfortunately. I've had close encounters with many wonderful things on the beaches in Australia, of course. So that's an entirely different ballgame. I had a moment with a manta ray or a stingray quite close in the water. He was, we were just squaring up at each other and had a moment and had a little chat, and then he just drifted off away from me. So that was nice. That was special. I felt the connection.
Cool. I found a really cool thing snorkeling. So first of all, I snorkeled in Cyprus, and I was in for 1 minute and found 10 euros, and I was dead chuffed with that. So that was the other. I really enjoy. I like seeing the animals, but it's when I find man-made stuff I get really excited. And I was in Tenerife and I was snorkeling, and I swam down, and there was a cork on the seabed, and I thought, oh, cool. And then I thought, hold on, corks float, and I pulled the cork, and I got a whole bottle of champagne. I couldn't believe it. And opened it and drank it. I was like, this is amazing. So that was pretty cool. There we go. I didn't know. Well, I was like, well, it was all right. And it didn't even taste weird. I think what it was from was when people do stag do's and hen do's, and they like throw the champagne off the boat, and then it just got over the years got covered. But yeah, there we go. Cool. Right, so let's move this on then. So next up, we've got Ensonglopedia. We've got John here, who is going to be tantalizing us with some cool songs. So I guess kind of leading on from the discussion we were having with Elizabeth about creativity in science.
Yes.
So your background is as a musician, but you started to bring more and more science content into your songs?
Yes, I am not a scientist, or at least, well, I am in the sense that we're all scientists. We all perform experiments. We all, update our hypothesis depending on what we discover through life. So in that sense, we're all scientists, right? But no, my study is in theatre. That's my background, theatre and music, really. And I'm very much a science hobbyist. And another thing I didn't mention about Elizabeth's actually that I started my science theatre journey being Charles Darwin, who loved barnacles. He was obsessed with barnacles. So I did quite a lot of research around barnacles for that show as well, and that was 2009. And since then, pretty much all my work within theatre has actually been science.
Cool.
So that's what I've ended up as my little niche.
So I know that you've got Ensonglopedia, and you do. So is it like literally just like I was reading New Scientist and I think this is interesting. Like, do you have how do you decide on what to write a science song about?
You got to give yourself a system, because there's just so much variety. There's so much out there. There's so much interesting stuff out there. So my system is the alphabet. I restrict myself by using the alphabet. So I will pick a big theme, like my first theme was just science. And then I would do a song for each letter of the alphabet on that theme. My next one was Ensonglopedia of animals that I'll do a few snippets of in a moment. And so there I did an animal starting with each letter of the alphabet. So that's how I restrict myself. In my lockdown project, which you can find on my YouTube channel, has been to write a weekly song on a subject in science suggested by people out there. And I'm up to the letter T at the moment. I've slowed down a little bit since lockdown number 3, but the intention is still a song a week, but it's getting there. Anyway, I've got A to T so far that you can check out on the Ensonglopedia YouTube channel. And that is literally, I've spent a week researching a topic. A lot of them I'd never heard of. Someone gave me the topic to write about super cameo candide for the letter S. I'd never heard of it. Researched it, spent a week researching it, writing a song, making a video, and there it is. I know all there is to know about super cameo candide now, but it's not to do with the ocean, so I won't go there.
Well, I was going to say, because if you do your A to Z from people writing in suggestions, the fact now that this is going out over 4 different YouTube channels, 3 of which are marine, I'd really like it if you got inundated with marine requests now, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I've become marine science without even trying.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know if you remember this, Russell, but you actually suggested my letter W. So in a few weeks' time, the letter W is for you. I'm not gonna. If you've forgotten what it was about, then I'm not going to tell you now. You'll have to wait and see.
I'm trying to think. I do. I remember us having this conversation, but I can't remember for the life of me what I suggested.
Yep, you'll have to wait and see.
Oh, that's really exciting. Well, okay. Well, we have got an amazing video, and I've got to say, one of the things I really love about your songs is how annoyingly catchy they are. And I catch myself cycling around, and like that's the chorus to one. Like you've got one about a Dunkleosteus, which is like a prehistoric fish, and I was literally cycling around going Dunko, 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 and I was like, oh, what? I just got a mental. That's the weirdest song ever. But yeah, they're really catchy. So yeah, let's check out this song. I'm on Portuguese. I'll
just explain that this is, as I said, it's a song about a species of animal for each letter of the alphabet, and you're going to hear the letter P, and then you're going to hear the letter C. That's
cool.
Take it easy if you see me on the seas or on the shore. Though I look plasticky, I am actually the Portuguese the king of sting. I'm the real thing. My tentacles have nematosis with a venomous mix that assists me when I wish to shock my prey. I always get my way. I'm not a jellyfish, nor indeed any fish, nor am I even a single living thing. I am for individual creatures, each with individual features, with a man of war, the king of sting. It's clever to work together, it's a scream operating as a team. It's good science to form an alliance, even if your crew are stuck to you like glue. The Portuguese man of war functions as an army corps, cooperating to be the king of sting. I got my martial name cause someone thought I looked the same as a 16th century warship sailing by. And you'd better be alarmed, cause like that warship I am armed, and I am dangerous, and someone's gonna pry. So don't go snorkeling near the king of sting. I forgot to wear the nicest costume in the show, so I'm going to wear that for 3 seconds. And we'll edit that together, yeah? There we go. Thank you.
Amazing. I said they were catchy.
Yeah.
I was like, what is he going to rhyme nematocyst with? I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, amazing, really good, really good. So now you've got another song for us.
I'll do another one. Yeah, I mean, your remit for this, Russell, was for us all to be a bit jolly, you know, Blue Monday, you know, to be lively and fun and stuff. And I go and give you a song there about a really dangerous animal that's kind of a little bit moody in feeling. So sorry about that. Sorry for depressing everyone again, guys. But I thought I'd do something a bit sillier now. And I'm going to sit a bit more comfortably here. So this is my little, my daughter's toy piano.
I'm going to jump out so people can see you.
Very good. Why not? Why not? Hello. Hello. Just me now. Ha! Yes, so here's my little toy piano, and I'm going to sing a song about the chocolate chip sea star. This is a type of starfish that looks like a chocolate chip cookie. This song I've written so that it sounds like a starfish looks in 2 ways. Firstly, I'm going to play it in the pentatonic or 5-note scale. And secondly, I'm going to do it in 5/4 time because most starfish have 5 legs. Here we go. Table manners, how do you eat up your dinners? I bet you don't regurgitate your stomach lining on your plate. Then let your dinner part digest before you gobble up the rest. Well, starfish do, yes, starfish do. And don't even ask how they poo. Alright, the starfish have no bums. Instead, all up each of its arms, it has hundreds of small tube feet, and it's through these that they excrete. Now, please excuse my snobbishness, but I think that is vomitous. The chocolate chip sea star is a cookie look-alike if seen from afar, but I wouldn't dip this one in your tea because it's not really a chocolate chip cookie. It's a little star in the sea star.
I would stand up if we didn't go out of frame as like a standing ovation. That was
Incredible.
oh my goodness, that's
Oh,
amazing.
the attention to detail, doing it in 5/4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's it's the care in the detail. That's what it's about.
It's word painting for songwriters out there. It's making the song sound, or making the music sound like what the lyrics are about. Word painting.
That's really cool.
I
really
think I
cool.
need to learn a new instrument as well. I think I've wasted my life this far not having expertise
Well, piano.
in the xylophone piano thing. I love it.
Well, when we were warming up earlier, at least 2 of the 3 of you had instruments in your hands. I thought we might have a little jam at some point, but I don't know. It hasn't materialized yet.
No,
We
no.
haven't
No rhythm.
No, well, John is referring to the fact that I get quite bored on Zoom calls, so I often have a guitar out of shot, which I can just like have a quick noodle with on mute. It gets embarrassing when you're on like a professional one, you forget to mute. Everyone's like, "Is someone playing guitar?" And you're like, "No, it's not." Anyway, okay. Yeah, brilliant. So, what other ocean songs have you got, or cool animals? Like, tell us.
Goodness me! I mean, this show, Ensonglopedia of Animals, it's arranged phylogenetically. So for those of you who don't know what that word is, it's in the order of how we evolved evolutionarily. So I start with the human arbitrarily because I am one, and then the next species is another primate species, and then I go back and back through how closely related we are with the different species. And then I'd written all these and I went, oh no, I've got a problem. Far too many of them are sea animals. But then I went, no, actually, hang on, let's do that bit of research. Oh yeah, most animals are sea animals. So that makes total sense. And it's quite a recent evolutionary step that we actually, came out of the sea. So that kind of makes sense. Point of view as well. But yeah, corals, sponge. So the animal that is least related to us. Spoiler alert for the show because it's the last song in the show. Is the sponge. That is the sister taxon of all other animals. Is the sponge. So yeah, that gets a look in. I
think you need to be Charles Darwin and I need to be a barnacle in some sort of video. I feel like this can't go left unexplored.
Do you know that the barnacle song from my show about Charles Darwin is as yet kind of unrecorded, doesn't have a video. So yeah, let's knock heads together about that for sure, Elizabeth.
There we go.
And I also need to say that Annette, who is Incredible Ocean's art person in our live streams, actually has made a full-on barnacle outfit that she wears to festivals when we're at festivals. So this
amazing. I've got barnacle leggings and a hoodie.
You've got barnacle leggings and a hoodie?
Yeah, it's great.
So why aren't these being worn right now?
That's true. I should have worn the leggings. I've gone Nudibranchs instead.
Amazing. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Can I pick up on the Portuguese man of war? I just love that. There's some sort of fascination about that animal. I remember even when I was 10 or something like that, just being fascinated by, because somebody said it's got enough venom to kill the person. Whether that's somebody who's already on the way out, I don't know. But for some reason, and I see 10-year-olds now with exactly the same sort of fascination with the animal just because of the potency of its venom. It's just, it's brilliant. And it really captured that kind of.
Great. Yeah. And the most amazing thing I think about the Portuguese man of war is the fact that it's a zooid, or it has zooids. I'm not quite sure what the terminology is, but it's not just one animal. It's 4 animals who are of the same species, but are, rely entirely on each other and form different parts of the body.
Absolutely.
Because I knew that as a nerdy marine biologist. When someone goes, "Oh, look at the jellyfish," you go, "It's actually not a jellyfish; it's a siphonophore, and it's a collection of organisms." But I didn't really know what that meant. So that video explained it very well.
In the last episode of the Ocean Show, we had a photographer, and he's one of the best ocean photographers in the world. It's a guy called Matty Smith, and he launched his whole career taking photos of Portuguese man of war, sort of half under and half over, and they were in the Natural History Museum, all on Nikon campaigns and everything, and absolutely beautiful photos. But it's just there's something about that animal that just seems to pop up.
Those animals.
Those animals. Sorry, absolutely. They make a good team.
What? Sorry.
They make a good team.
They do make a good team. No, I'm trying to. My favourite fact is their sail is full of carbon monoxide.
Ooh,
Oh,
blimey.
yeah.
And that's a good fact, isn't it? For people who don't know, that's the gas that your boilers give off when they're not working properly. You don't want that gas. But yeah,
They're a great team of like the awful stuff for humans, aren't they? They've really gone out of that. They're like, you know what? We're going to pick a gas. We're going to go with one that they're not going to like either.
that's good. Anyway, we're supposed to be cheering everyone up here, aren't we? Anyway, there we go. Right, so moving on then, because we've got about 25 minutes left and we want to do a little bit of Q&A at the end. So I've got a video to show now. I can talk about it. If people, I'll talk about it. Okay, there we go. Unless John was going to do the segue. Go on, John.
Sorry, I missed my cue there. Oh, Russell, why don't you tell us a little bit about your video that you're about to show us?
Thanks, John. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I have a video. So as you might be able to tell, I've got a stupid moustache, and a lot of people are like, "Why do you have a stupid moustache, you hipster?" And the reason I grew a stupid moustache is I grew it for a bet. Like one of my ex-girlfriends was like, "Can you grow a stupid moustache?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'll see what happens." And I grew it, and the response was amazing in that I was able to get into places for free, and people bought me drinks, and it was just really nice. It's like having a stupid icebreaker on your face. But the best thing it's probably ever done is I was at a conference, an oceanography conference in Portland in America, and I was sat down, and the guy came up to me and said, "You were on my flight, weren't you?" And I was like, "Was I?" But because you've got a stupid moustache, you're like, you probably recognize me because of my stupid moustache. Got talking. He was a scientist from the British Antarctic Survey. We went out for lunch, and I just was like, "You don't need anyone to come on a cruise, do you?" And he went, "Actually, yes." So my moustache managed to blag me a scientific cruise with the British Antarctic Survey. And while we were en route to the Southern Ocean, we stopped off at the Falkland Islands. And Falkland Islands are quite barren, quite bleak. And where we were, there was a beach. And I went for a walk along the beach, kind of knowing that it was going to be the last time I was going to see land for maybe like 4 weeks to 6 weeks. So I was like, yeah, let's just like really enjoy the land. And I ended up discovering something. So this is what I discovered on the beach. I just saved a baby dolphin. So I'm on board the James Clark Ross, and we've just stopped off on the Falkland Islands on the way to the Southern Ocean to refuel. And close to the refueling station, there's a place called Bertha's Beach, which is kind of named after the ship that ran aground there ages ago. So I was faffing around, kind of getting ready, and everyone else left. And I was like, okay, well, fine, I'm just going to go for a walk by myself then. Because this was the last time that we were going to see land for 7 weeks, potentially. So it was really great to kind of walk along this beach. So I thought, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity for me to try out my GoPro. So I attached it to my head, and I just went for this leisurely walk along the beach. And it was a really kind of sunny, hot day, but it was also really blustery. And I'm just kind of walking along, and it was great. Like, I saw sea foam. I found some war memorials, which the Falklands is full of them because of the Falklands War. And then I kind of went up on top of this ridge, and I looked down, and I could see two people from the ship kind of faffing around in the surf. And I was like, I wonder what they're up to. They're trying to get something out of the water. Just as I kind of started walking down, my GoPro went beep, 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 and completely ran out of batteries. So I was like, oh, typical. So I walked down towards them, and I said, guys, what are you trying to get out the sea? And they said, we're not trying to get something out the sea, we're trying to put something back in it. So we were walking along the beach, and we stumbled across a baby dolphin right up at the high tide mark. And we thought it was dead, and they gave it a nudge, and it let out a noise. So Amber, the ship's doctor, she picked up the dolphin, and it kind of pooped all down her. And then they kind of carried it over to the surf. But because it had been out of water on this like hot day, it was all kind of dried and shriveled, and it was really tired. And so the waves just kept kind of like rolling it back in towards the beach, and it was just kind of flobbering around in the surf. That's totally a verb, by the way, flobbering. Flobbering around in the surf. And I kind of saw it and was like, oh my God, baby dolphin. And I'd like to be like, yes, I was so heroic and I knew exactly what I needed to do. But I was just like, oh, whoa, poor baby dolphin. So I took all my clothes off, bottom of my pants and this hat, and I just scooped the baby dolphin up. And I walked into the sea and I kind of held it there in my arms. And it was just the weirdest experience to stand there in this quite cold water, just holding a baby dolphin. And then after a while, I was like, come on, I'm getting cold, and kind of gave it a little bit of encouragement like that with my arms. And it swam away and then clearly decided it wasn't ready and circled around and came back to me and lied in my arms again. So another 10 minutes I was there in the water until eventually it went. So the really cool thing about this type of dolphin that it was a Peel's dolphin. And Peel's dolphins and Commerson dolphins are the two species of dolphins that are found around the southern tip of South America and around the Falkland Islands. And they quite often work together. And one of their ways that they catch fish is to surf the waves up the beach, and they kind of trap the fish in the shallow water, get the fish and then kind of wiggle backwards into the sea. But clearly this baby dolphin had timed the wave wrong, or had maybe gone on too big a wave and it got stranded. Now a lot of people are like, what did the baby dolphin feel like? And if you want to know what a baby dolphin feels like, then just get a aubergine. Baby dolphins feel like an aubergine, exactly like aubergines. So yeah, there you go. I saved a baby dolphin. What an amazing experience. Thanks for listening, guys, and be sure to like and subscribe below. There we go.
Amazing. So have you stopped eating aubergines?
I haven't, but annoyingly now, when I do talks at festivals, I always take an aubergine with me, and I tell that story, and the kids are like, oh, can I hold the aubergine? And they get really excited, and the aubergine is always a prize at the end of my talk as to whoever asked the best question. So, and they're like, Mom, look, I got the aubergine. So it's a high value item now in Incredible Oceans world.
Have you got one on you at the moment?
I haven't. No, I haven't. I feel like that would have been awesome. Just be like, ah. I don't have an aubergine.
The only downside of online meetups is that we don't get to actually interact with an aubergine.
If only, yeah, we could just be passing it around. It would make awesome like TV. I think. Here we are, 4 random YouTubers holding an aubergine, and John's back. Woo.
I've turned my screen off. I think it was causing problems with my internet, so it should be better now. Apologies.
Grace, what did the dolphin feel like? Was it squishy? I'm just going to say it felt exactly like an aubergine. So that's what it felt like a wrinkly aubergine. It was weird holding it. Because at first I was like, hold it underwater. Then it was like, well, no, it needs to breathe. So then I lifted it up a bit, so its blowhole was above water, like in my face. But yeah, it was a cool thing to do on the last day before you head out to sea. It was like, and there was definitely this weird intelligence to it, like it was a toddler the whole way. That I was like, come on, off you go, and it was like, no, I'm not ready, and it came back to me. Really weird, but yeah. Anyway,
that's just incredible.
See any of the adults, or were there any sort of waiting around for it? Or
no, everyone was like, what would you have done if you'd let it go? And then you just saw like an orca come and eat it or something like that, and I was like, oh no, don't do that. But if you've watched the film Blackfish, one of the things that a lot of whales and dolphins do when they lose their or like a family member is they switch to infrasound, which is like really, really low frequency waves that carry much further. So I'm hoping that the mum was slightly concerned about the baby and would have switched to those infrasounds, and those would have been going out into the water, just like a mum going, where are you? Where are you? And then the baby would have been able to meet back up again with its pod, hopefully. So.
That's cool. I think it's worth saying as well, if people are watching this and interested in that kind of like rescue stuff, I've just looked them up. It's the British Divers Marine Life Rescue do a marine mammal medic course, which is really fantastic and something that I've done. And they basically train you up on how you would rescue a stranded whale or cetacean or a seal or something like that. And you can get you get on the course and then you get put on a call so that if something happens in your area, you can go and assist and help save the dolphins and everything. So if that's something that you're watching and you're interested in, then I highly recommend going to check them out. They're a great organisation.
So have you been called out to save anything?
I haven't been called out to save anything, actually, but I was on their list of if it's in the area, let me know one day.
Exciting. Do you train with like an inflate? Oh, sorry, Anthony.
Sorry, no. I was just saying we've managed to take a seal to the seal sanctuary in Gweek. Once there was a baby seal on a very rough day when we were surfing. And, took it to Gweek, and then I think eventually it got released. So back into the wild.
Whoa, amazing. There we go. Look, everyone's saving things. Look, this is why you need to subscribe to our channels, guys. We're just making the world a better place. There we go. Right. So on that note, we've got about a quarter of an hour left. So we've got our last video now, which is pretty cool. So Sophia, if you could chuck Elizabeth and John out. I stumbled across Anthony's channel through World Ocean Day for schools, which you did. We a big thing for. So for people that don't know, World Ocean Day is on the 8th of June, and there was like a big online festival, and you did the ocean show, and it was brilliant. Like, we do like short, sharp things with Incredible Oceans, but you do like a big kind of epic with loads of different people and content. So just talk us about how that came about.
That came about because I used to organise an actual event before lockdown called the Ocean Day in our local village, but we had quite big kind of groups that would come along, like the National Marine Aquarium and Cornwall College and Seal Sanctuary, and various people would come along and actually set up in this big hall, and we'd have a few hundred people would come along to this event. And I was organising another one, and I'd put all the legwork in, and then the pandemic hit. And I'm also a filmmaker, and I'd just done I'd just been involved in a thing called the Surfing Show, and I kind of put it all together and thought, why not do an online thing? So the first episode was just like an alternative to an actual event, really, and just content from all the different people. And then after that, we got a little bit of funding and decided to make something a bit more educational. So we did the second episode. And then, that's kind of everything. That was slightly different, but everything ocean-y. Ocean-based, and everything from science, art, photography, sports, just everything you can imagine. There's a little section on everything. So so that's kind of how it came about. And my co-host is my 10-year-old daughter. So we just kind of introduce everything. I'm not really an expert on anything. I just get people together who know what they're talking about and introduce it. So.
Well, I think that's what I really enjoyed about the show. Is I think a lot of people think that when you do something to do with the oceans, it just has to be the animals. And there's this idea of like ocean literacy, which is this idea that the ocean pervades all aspects of our culture, of art, of language, of science, of like everything, of sport and things, and bringing all of those things together and really celebrating the oceans from lots of different angles. I thought was a really exciting thing to do.
And hopefully if you're interested in one of those angles and then you watch it, you get introduced to the other side of things, and you can get inspired in all the different ways that you can. The ocean is well, for me especially, because I've lived next to the ocean my whole life, it's just my entire life is kind of based around it. So every aspect of my life is based around the ocean. So I guess I brought that into the show.
Awesome. So you're saying you're a filmmaker. So do you do ocean themed films, or because I know obviously I've seen you do some surfing and things being based down in Cornwall. So
I mean my main thing that I've done for the last 15 years is filming professional surfers, and filming the surfing tour and things. So it was mainly focused with surfing, but through that I've got involved in other water-based filming, if that makes sense. But my main kind of what I'm known for is surfing stuff. And
Awesome. And so my final question is, so you're talking about your daughter being your co-host, and so is she on track to being like the next female David Attenborough, like being a presenter at age 10? Is she like, yeah, the ocean and things like that? Or
she's definitely getting more confident. She loves it, and she I think she's got a very funny deadpan kind of delivery with everything she does, actually. But
I've really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and you'll see her in this next video as well. So.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, let's get the video. Let's do it.
Could you tell me your name and where we are?
I'm Kate Quealy and we're in Kingsand in South East Cornwall on the Rain Peninsula.
Thank you. Where, when and how or why did you get into open water swimming?
I've always loved swimming outdoors and loved jumping into rivers and the sea and lakes whenever I was nearby, but more recently I've started swimming every day. We were lucky enough to move to this village and I started swimming every day to celebrate my 50th birthday. So I was going to do 50 days with different friends instead of having a party, and 50 days turned into, it's over 1,000 now. So 3 years ago I was 50 and now I'm still swimming every day.
Wow. How many days have you been swimming in a row?
Do you know, I worked that out. I thought you might ask me that. Tomorrow will be 1,150. I missed one day.
Do you ever go swimming in storms?
Well, because I have to swim every day, I feel I have to swim every day. When it's a bit stormy, we're very lucky here. Unless it's an easterly, we're quite sheltered in this bay. If it's stormy, we'll wait till a lower tide and we might walk round to Corsand where there's a wider, more sandy beach, which is a bit more sheltered. So I'm very sensible, and it might just be a dip, but it still counts and it's a swim. So yes, I get in every day, but I'm careful.
Do you ever wear a wetsuit?
I have worn a wetsuit. I don't usually, so not through the winter or anything. I've worn wetsuits when I've done organised events where they want you to wear one, or it's a longer swim. And I used to be a bit more of a wimp, so I wore one more often.
What are the main benefits for you?
I just think it's life affirming. It makes you feel alive. It brings you into the moment, so all your worries go away. You just can't worry about anything else because all you're thinking about is how amazing it feels to be in the water.
Are there any dangers you have to watch out for?
I suppose the storms that you mentioned, you have to be sensible about that. You don't want to get too cold, so you acclimatise, you take time getting used to how long you can stay in. There are jellyfish, so I occasionally get a little sting, but they're not too bad, a bit like stingy nettles. You do have to be careful, but no, it's not dangerous if you're careful.
Do you always swim with just yourself and husband, or do you also swim with a club?
Well, it's not a club, but it's developed into a lovely group of friends. So now, some days there are 20 people from the village who meet and swim. Since lockdown, we don't meet and swim together quite so much. People go in, but you can hear voices across the water because couples and families get in at different times. So I'm usually swimming with my husband now. Yeah.
What would you say to anyone looking to start open water swimming?
I think they should do it. I think it's a lovely thing to do. They should do it not on their own. They should start with a friend or someone who knows the water, someone who knows how to take care of themselves, and just do a little bit at a time. Stay within their depths and have a dip and see how good they feel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, shall we get in and have a try?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So Ella, how do you feel after that swim?
Freezing, but it was fun.
Good, it was good. You do feel great after a cold dip, don't you? And we're very lucky to have the sun. Yeah. That was fantastic. It's always good to have a swim, and you never regret it. You always feel better after a swim. So it's life affirming.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So hopefully you could see why I chose that for Blue Monday, because I mean, recently I've just seen so many more people, especially since the first lockdown. There's just been so many more people taking it up, just swimming, especially without a wetsuit and going in. Even now, going in, you know, February, January, and the water's sort of 7-8 degrees, and they're swimming for 10 minutes, and it seems to be really positive effect on people's kind of mental health. And yeah, it's and something that's really accessible as well, you know. It doesn't even have to be in the ocean, it can be in a lake if you're, you know, or something like that. So yeah, so that's why I chose it for Blue Monday.
Yeah, I think that's great. I've stumbled across an organization called Chill UK that talk about all the benefits to both the physical and mental health from doing just 10 minutes of cold water swimming or just wild swimming, that engagement with nature and all the physiological things that kick in and all the endorphins that are released. So yeah, it helps obviously if you've got like the Cornwall on your doorstep, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Yeah. Absolutely. It's a bonus, definitely.
Oh, fantastic. I've got to say, it was beautiful camera work as well. And
thank you.
do you feel like a pang of like proud dad being like, oh, she's my daughter, she's great? And obviously you can see all the comments there of everyone.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Like,
yeah, no, it definitely is really nice. It's been a nice project to do and really, you know, bond with her as well, you know. So yeah, it's been great.
That's cool. It's definitely, I guess, one of the perks of homeschooling. That's the kind of thing you wouldn't normally be able to do. And
Absolutely.
this is a skill set which, you know, isn't covered in your GCSEs, but in terms of life skills is probably quite useful.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And in PE at the moment, we just go surfing. So it's ideal.
That's much better than running around the field, isn't it?
I think I would have cared a lot more about PE as a kid if surfing was on. The bleep test.
Yeah, the bleep test. So we've got I was wondering, so we've got a couple of minutes before the hour's up. I was wondering if anyone watching had any questions for any of us that we could pop in. So if you've got any questions, just stick them in the comments section under whatever you're watching and we can see what's going on. If you haven't got a question, that's also fine. Also, if you just got something to say, like, that was great, or thank you guys, you really cheered up my Blue Monday, or something like that.
We've had a few of those already. We've had a few that was great, so thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, favorite sea animal.
Ooh.
Go on then.
I before this I would have said Nudibranch. Actually, I will be more specific and say the Spanish shawl Nudibranch, because that's the one I wrote my song on. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Second to barnacles. So barnacles are my ultimate love, but I will say that I do love this species called a devil crab, and it's got red eyes and these gorgeous blue legs, and it's the most aggressive creature ever. It's amazing. It's this little crab that's like, I could take on a whale. It would take on a whale if it could. And I adore things that are small and aggressive. They make me laugh so much. So that's one of my favorite species.
The angry chihuahua.
Sorry, I very nearly said devil crab, and we actually had we've got a little section on rock pooling in the second ocean show, and we've got a section on the devil crab in that as well. So, yeah,
they're great.
Yeah.
Yes, Anthony, what's yours? Is devil crab your favorite as well, Anthony?
It's one of them, definitely. Yeah.
Amazing. What's my favorite?
A few more questions there. What's up? Anyone know any ocean themed jokes from Caroline on Facebook?
The only one I can think of is like, why did the crab blush? Because the seaweed.
I quite like that. I've got like a really specific one, but it doesn't quite work if you can't write it out. It's very, very geeky. It's what's a sea gooseberry's favorite time?
10 or 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
10 or 4.
Yes. Why did the 1, 2, 3 cat win the swimming race?
Because under 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, well done.
I'm on it. Okay. Here's the other one. Why do mermaids wear seashells? Because they outgrew their bee shells.
Oh,
There was a
blue. What's the biggest shark? I think the biggest shark isn't around anymore. Probably Noah, age 6. It's probably one of the extinct ones, right? Can anyone?
Well, the biggest shark currently, whale shark.
Real shark, isn't it?
Yeah.
But incidentally, just because we're all in the UK, and I think it's important to champion UK waters, as we've all been doing, the best place on Earth to see basking sharks, which are the second largest fish in the sea, they're 12 meters long. The best place on Earth to see basking sharks is the UK. So if all those people that are like, oh, you need to go far, far away to see these incredible wildlife, you don't have to. You see them off Cornwall, you see them off the Isle of Man. They're all over the Irish Sea. And
We saw one this summer.
Really?
Just out to, we saw the fin. It didn't come too close in, but it was, yeah.
Amazing.
During lockdown, the first lockdown, there was a lot more wildlife around actually, and there was I think a lot more spotted during that time.
Wow.
I mean,
Fantastic.
like
That's
the
really
dolphins in Venice, I think, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, I think some of it, there's a lot of there was some stuff, but a lot of the extra wildlife that was around, a lot of people put down to the fact that actually people were just paying more attention to the natural environment and spending more time in the natural environment. So, which is also a good thing. But yeah, there we go. What was I going to say? So we're actually at time. We've been an hour now waffling along, and it's been brilliant. Thank you everyone who has joined in, who's been watching us, even if you've watched a bit of it. All of this live stream will be on our YouTube channels, and you can rewatch it and send bits of it to your mates and things. Most important thing is we've all come together to do a collaboration because all of our channels are awesome. So you need to subscribe to all of our channels. That's the main thing.
Had one subscriber since we started this, so thank you to
Hey.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, and check everyone
Share
out.
it if you can, and just spread the ocean love, because we all love the ocean.
Definitely. And I'm sure if there's any videos that you'd like to see from any of us, do let us know. We've obviously do slightly different things, but yeah, that'd be really cool. And it's been great meeting you all using internet.
Likewise.
Fabulous.
I'd
Great.
just like to say to everyone watching, we never spoke. This is the first time we've all come together. We were just like, we all kind of have oceany channels. Let's see what happens. Let's chat. And it's been really nice seeing what you guys do and learning more about it. So thank you very much.
Let's do it again.
Yeah,
Let's do
definitely.
it again. Yeah, at the next lockdown. All right, cool. Happy Blue Monday, everyone. See you soon.
Happy Blue Monday, everyone.
Incredible ocean, magical place to be. So much that we can learn from life in the deep blue sea. Incredible ocean, magical place to be. So much that we can learn from life in the deep blue sea.